In an unprecedented move, First Lady Melania Trump has called for the firing of a top national security official, another woman by the name of Mira Ricardel, and she hasn't given many details as to why she would like this individual to get fired. We do know that the two women did clash during Melania Trump's recent trip to Africa, and the only statement that we've received from her communications director, Stephanie Grisham, is the following. She said, "It is the position of the office of the First Lady that she no longer deserves the honor of serving in this White House." Wow. And when she says she, of course, she refers to the national security official that I had previously mentioned, Mira Ricardel. Now, the only other thing that we know is that they did have a few confrontations, one of which included a confrontation including Ricardel demanding that the National Security Council staff have seats on the First Lady's plane during her trip to Africa last month. And that's according to people who are familiar with the disagreements that took place.
Yeah, all right, well, look, normally this would be, again, as usual, the largest controversy in another president's term, but it's gonna be one of thousands under Donald Trump. But now we got First Ladies firing deputy national security advisors. That's a super important position, having to do with, I don't know if you could tell from the title, national security. So, as you're worried about the caravan and all that stuff, and oh my God, the immigrants are coming in, it's an infection and all this stuff, you just fired the deputy national security advisor because the First Lady didn't like that she wanted the national security staff to be on a foreign trip with her? I mean, isn't that what the national security staff is supposed to do? She's like, oh, I do declare, oh my God, they interfered with my trip to Africa with all their national security stuff. So this whole stuff about Melania Trump should get a pass, I'm done with it. So Nancy Reagan, when she got involved in politics, and she did a couple of things, the Just Say No campaign against drugs, was a huge part of starting the war on drugs. Thank you, Nancy. She gets all this ass kissing when in Washington. Oh, Nancy Reagan. She was so stupid that she told Ronald Reagan about how astrology should rule his decisions at the White House, and that idiot listened to her, okay? So now, if you're Laura Bush, now that's another Republican First Lady, and you didn't get involved in politics, she was nothing but intelligent, pleasant, a good representative of the country, never did anything wrong, never got involved in trying to control policy for irrational reasons, then there's no reason to go after the First Lady. It's not about Republicans or Democrats. Laura Bush was, in my opinion, perfectly fine, and I defended her throughout the Bush administration for 8 years as we went after her husband and Dick Cheney relentlessly, right? But when Melania Trump comes in and starts firing national security advisors because he didn't like the way she picked seats on her plane. No, I'm done with her. She married Trump. Come on, we got kid gloves when we talk about Melania Trump.
Well, look, I did not want to attack Melania Trump on the things that I saw people in the media and online attacking her for, which was her past as a fashion model, the way she dresses, what kind of shoes she's wearing. Who cares about that stuff? I think that it is fair to criticize her once she does enter the political world and she starts making or having influence on political decisions. And if we have a national security member of the national security team getting fired because Melania Trump just simply doesn't like this person or doesn't like the types of confrontations they had, then yeah, I think that it's fair to criticize her. To be fair, I don't know much about the deputy national security aide. What I do know is that this is a very strange thing. It's never happened before. And to know that the First Lady could have, if this woman gets fired, and it appears that she will likely get fired, she has undue influence. I mean, what type of expertise does she have to make a decision like this? Unless there's actual evidence of wrongdoing that could put the country in jeopardy in some way, which I doubt.
Look, and I'm also tired of their hypocrisy. We're always the good guys, so we don't criticize her modeling career. But Michelle Obama tried to get kids to eat healthy, and and they said, "Oh, she's doing propaganda and trying to control your lives, big government." And when she wore sleeveless shirts, which is the most normal thing on the planet, they're like, "Oh, how dare she expose her arms?" Melania Trump did naked lesbian photo shoots I'm cool with it. I got no problems. But you better never, ever talk about Michelle Obama's arms again. And then now, look, let's keep it real too. Laura Bush married George Bush when they were very, very young, okay? And Melania married Donald Trump when he was very, very old. And so what did she do it for? Because of his charming personality? Because he's a very high IQ person? Because he's a stable genius? Can we just be real for 1 second? I know you're not allowed to say it. She married him for the money. For the money, okay? There is no other reason to marry a monster like Donald Trump. He's not remotely charming. He's one of the dumbest guys in the world. He's a brute and a bully. He cheated on her endlessly. She did it for the money, but now we're supposed to, no, don't say it. You're not allowed to say it. I'm saying it, sorry, sad day for you.
Yeah, I don't care for any of the reasons why she got married to Donald Trump. I do care when she starts making decisions that impact the country, impact national security. She's not an expert on national security. I don't care how much she might dislike a person. You have to look at that person's expertise and decide whether or not he or she is doing a good job in the position that they're currently holding. That is how you decide whether or not that person should remain in government, not whether or not the first lady likes that person.
And last thing, look, the reason I bring up the money is because what's the qualification here? I mean, is she, again, you keep using Laura Bush as the counter example. Well, they kind of came up together, right? And she was trusted by George W. Bush to give him decent counsel. And she appeared to be on the surface a very decent person who would try to temper his worst instincts, right? Melania Trump, we're trusting her to make decisions about the Deputy National Security Advisor for what reason? For what reason? She's not they didn't grow up together. She's not a trusted partner in that sense. She's got none of the attributes of anyone else remotely qualified to talk to the president. Now, I know there's a great irony because the president himself is a moron. He's not qualified to make decisions about the National Security Advisor, but he's the president. There's nothing we can do about it, and he got elected. That's real. Whether he's qualified or not, the American people decided he should be president. Now, but when the first lady comes in and based on fits of whatever it was, pique, that she didn't like this other woman for whatever reason, telling the president what to do and firing people involved in security, totally, utterly unacceptable. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.